Welcome back to the Mediocre Podcast. My name is Dan. We've got Chris and Sam. Chris is on top. Sam is in the middle, and I'm on the bottom.
Right where I belong.
And we are a band called Mediocre at Best. You can listen to us on Spotify. And this is our podcast where we talk about music and other things that we're interested in. Yeah. How you doing, boys? What's the word?
Oh, I'm doing, The word is drank.
You got a word of
Drank?
Got this big cup of coffee
Drank.
right now. Yeah.
Okay.
What kind
Stand
of
up,
drink you got?
sit down.
Are we
What kind of drink you sipping on, Chris?
today's drank? I just pulled it up because the bag didn't have all the details on it.
Mm.
But it's a
The
Lake
drink bag?
Effect from Madcap Coffee Company. It is a blend.
A blend?
I know. I'm sorry.
could you?
Listen? I could have got the single origin, but the bag was $22 or something crazy, and I was like, you know what?
That's disgusting,
today.
Chris.
Not today. So today's blend, two different coffees. It's an Araro Ethiopian
Ooh.
and a Kambarari.
Excuse me?
Kambarari
What did you just call
Kenya.
me? Okay.
Combo Rory? Okay.
Kambarari.
I like it.
Okay, so like the Aurora Borealis and then a combo Aurora Borealis. I got you. Okay.
Kambarari.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
good.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what we're drinking today.
Good.
It's a washed.
Is that what
and
we
dried
are
on-
drinking?
That's what we're drinking.
Hey, there you go.
It's a washed but dried on raisin beds.
Oh, raisin?
That's what it says on the thing.
Are you sure it doesn't say raised beds?
No.
I think it says raisin. No,
way.
No, it says raised.
You-
No, you're right.
You is lying.
Raisins. Just
Yeah, thanks for clearing. Thanks for
Yeah,
clearing
yeah,
that one up for us. here.
raisins as far as the eye can see. Just beds of
Beds
raisins.
full of them. Queen size, California king, just raisins. But is a raisin
I read
bed
that
a
real
bed
quick.
full of raisins or a big raisin that's the size
that
of
you
the bed?
sleep on? I don't know. That's a good question.
Hmm.
You know what? So that was embarrassing. Let's
Let's move on.
Okay. Well,
Well, let me tease.
yeah.
Let me
Okay,
tease
go
the
ahead.
topic today.
Okay.
Today we're answering the question, what is the future of live music?
What's the future?
What is the future? So there's a lot of different ways that we can answer that. I'm sure we're going to try to answer all the different ways. It's an interesting topic.
every way you could imagine.
Every way you can imagine. In light of, COVID and the 19,
Yeah, the 19th century.
and how you can't really do live shows in most places, especially like how they used to be done. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be answering that question. I'm going to be honest, boys. This question is a little bit of a downer.
I mean,
it
it definitely
have
it's on
to
the
be.
negative side of things.
It doesn't
but
have
we
to be.
figured
It doesn't have to be.
this
Yeah,
is
that's
a
true.
good- That's true. Yeah. Have hope.
Yeah, have hope. So that's what we're going to be talking about. But first, Wheeze, you want to tell us? You want to give us your mug and brew?
Yeah. So mug of the day is Vermont.
Oh yeah,
This is actually an old podcast heirloom
it really is.
Yeah.
that I thought I would
Back when
never
we used
see
to do
again.
Podcast in person.
Yeah,
That was
we
Sam's
used to drink
favorite
out of
mug.
mugs. Yeah, I'd use
Every
not
day.
re- as well.
No, I
it's not
was
really my
not given
favorite.
my favorite mug.
Yeah, well, it's not really my favorite because it's not a great
Oh
mug.
well.
No, it's
but
not.
it's just the
no,
one that
it's
like
not. It's not a good.
I
mug
used
at all.
it the first time, so now it's like now I have to use this every time. And so here we are again. It's like thin, like aluminum. So like it's really not an ideal. But Dan, but Dan said, "Hey, I have a surprise for you," and gifted me this mug. And by that I mean he had a box full of trash at his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, you want some stuff?" And I knew exactly
That's
what
an
I was
easy
looking
gift.
for, and I reached
because
right
you
for
know
this. I
he
did not
wants
grab.
it, but you don't want it.
Yeah, I did not grab the rollerblades, but I did get the Vermont. I'm drinking a coffee that's not on their website, and I left the bag in the kitchen, but I found it This is the Bedhatu Gibicho from Novo.
Whoa.
It is
Now-
washed heirloom varieties from the Gedeo zone in Africa,
Wait, it's a
specifically
zone?
Ethiopia. It is a zone in Ethiopia,
Wow.
the Gedeo zone. You know, you got grass zone, you got water zone,
Danger zone?
Gedeo zone,
Like
danger
right
zone.
into the danger zone?
Yeah. Yeah. So this
What
is
other
an
famous
Ethiopian-
zones?
What's the Green Hill Zone? That's the from Sonic. You got Green Hill Zone.
What was the zone from earlier last year? There was a famous zone. It was I can't remember the acronym. Yeah, it was in Seattle. Was it Seattle?
Oh, Area
Yeah.
51.
Oh, you're right. The Area 51 zone. In
Zone
Seattle,
51.
there was a place where the government said, like, all right, y'all own this now, and the police won't be in there. What was that place
Oh
called?
yeah, Portland.
Was that in Portland?
It was Portland, I think.
It was the something
Portland
zone. I thought it was
zone.
in Seattle, but
Zone protest.
Whatever.
we're getting
Autonomous
political
Zone
today.
Portland. Yeah,
This is the
well,
podcast where
we
we
really
go
are.
hardcore political.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. It's we'll find out at some
We'll
point.
figure it out. We'll put
Just,
it in.
was
the-
just
Portland.
Google famous zones. I'm sure it'll be
Capitol
on
Hill
the list.
Autonomous Zone.
Yeah, see? I knew
Or-
there was a zone.
Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz. What's up, Chaz? How you doing, man?
Jazz.
Well,
So-
boys,
So this
I have
coffee is
I
really,
have a
really
confession.
What's your
Oh, are
confession?
you
You got water in there right now?
My confession is
back
that
alley mug.
I'm using the same mug as last week.
wow, man.
This is a vintage back alley mug.
I am too.
This is from a defunct coffee roastery,
Yeah.
and inside is coffee. Can you see it?
Oh, good. I cannot
Oh,
see it yet.
well,
no,
that's fine.
actually.
Inside is the Nature's Best. Aldi. Yeah, Nature's Zone
Oh yeah.
Nature's best is. Yeah, that's like a Walmart.
is Aldi. Nature's Zone. So I'm drinking $4 Aldi coffee, which I stand by is the best.
That's okay.
The best whole bean single origin coffee you can get for under $5, but it's
bang
not
for your buck,
good.
for
I
sure.
mean, in general, it's like objectively, it's not good,
Yeah.
but it's not terrible.
Yeah. That's fair enough. It's bang for your buck.
Bang for buck. So next week I will be drinking a coffee that I roasted.
Oh, okay.
It'll be
Oh, yeah.
gassy and ready
So
to
I
go.
finally got,
you got-
a good roast.
A roast
Nice.
update.
So the other I've done 4 roasts. I mean, granted, the first 2 were a half pound each, so a little more, and those I didn't do too great on. The third one, the third and fourth, I did a quarter pound each.
Oh,
So
quarter
small
pounder.
roast. Quarter pounder, double quarter
Oh,
pounder
okay.
cheese.
With cheese? Yeah,
And
that's what I thought.
it's a Colombian, and I was able to get a nice medium light roast out of it.
A nice
And-
meaty light roast.
It tastes good. And so
Okay.
next week, it's still like
Nice, okay.
it still needs some time off roast to be best, but
Yeah.
next week I'm bringing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna ship us some?
I'm excited.
I don't think I have enough. So
You can't shit,
I don't-
but you can't send me 15 grams, Chris.
You can't do what? Sam?
I made a quarter pound.
All I need is 15 grams. Listen, 1 gram, please.
That's all you.
I might be better off to just
1
roast
gram.
another.
That's like 4 beans. Put them in the
That's all I need.
hopper. Grind them
I
up.
just want to feel alive.
So 4 grams. So what would that be? So
Well,
then
that's
you
a,
just want
that's a
13 grams of
16.6.
water.
Yeah.
You know, depending on your
Right,
ratio.
just a little taste.
16.6 ratio.
Yeah.
I mean,
Little
so
taste.
that's not bad. I mean, it's like what 60-ish grams of water.
No, it's
that's like
16
this-
grams.
no.
If it's 1 gram,
like an espresso.
then the ratio.
No. Oh, I thought you said I was getting 4 grams now.
No, you're getting
No, you
4
said 4
beans.
Oh, 4 beans. Okay. So,
Oh,
yeah,
do you do
I'll
your
do
ratios
16
per bean?
per bean? Yeah, I have to count them out every morning. That's why I was late today.
2, 3.
So
You know what? Maybe I'll hold off on next week and wait until I have enough.
no,
to
you
give
can't.
You guys.
No, you can't do that to us.
I can't.
Chris. You already
Okay,
said it.
I can't.
Just
I can't
drink
take
the
back what I
coffee.
said.
tell us how great it is and how we're missing out. And then we'll have it.
Okay, yeah, that'll be. You know, we need to drink the same coffee at some point.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Okay.
I mean,
So-
we can just pretend at any moment that.
Right.
So today,
Mhm.
today, we are talking about the future of music.
Mhm.
So let's frame our question a little bit with some context of maybe starting with like what was the last show that you saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's show. Or
What's
like
the last show you
the-
saw in person?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the one that we played.
Yeah.
our show was
In,
the last live like real show that I've
February,
been to.
March of last year. When was it?
That was February.
Yeah, February.
It was like 2-3 weeks before the world burned.
Yeah.
So yeah, show would have been that, or when I saw Daughters in December of 2019. But I feel like a live performance of music, like I've seen some DJs at like some outdoor like parks and stuff.
Oh, DJs.
Just like standing outside playing music, like spinning
Yeah,
records. So like, I guess that
I mean,
counts.
same thing, like kind of. I mean, like in New Orleans, pretty much everywhere we go, there's probably somebody playing music out somewhere. But on the street,
I did see that. I did see that
and
brass
just wherever
band.
they can set up.
Yeah.
But that's, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really count
That's not
that
a show.
because we're talking about venues.
Venues. Are we talking about venues?
I mean, that's kind of
Well, I feel like
that's what's
street
getting messed
performance-
up by the whole.
Yeah, I feel like street performance is an addendum to this entire like conversation about live music.
Yeah.
But
Right.
so like inside of a venue, it would be Slims with Mediocre at Best closing,
Yes.
and King Moody and Friendly Reminder
Yeah.
was the last show that I went to.
We did close that show at like
We
we went on at like
Would we go
9:30
on
or something.
10:30.
dumb.
It was later than 9:30. It was late, and it was
It
Monday.
was too late. That's
Oh, yeah.
what it was.
It was Monday. It was late.
but it was like
Packed.
best Monday show we've ever played.
It was packed.
Oh, yeah.
That's so true.
I mean, some of the most fun
We
I've
played-
had at any of our gigs.
honestly, it was a good time.
Worst Monday
People
show
were
we ever
getting down
played
on a Monday.
was at the Poorhouse in Raleigh.
Oh yeah.
That was terrible. Wait, the first one
Oh,
or the
yeah.
second one?
I feel like
Or just
maybe
both?
the difference was that like people our age were playing with us at Slims. Like 3 bands roughly the same age. I honestly I think we were the oldest band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
So their friends
At
came out who were
25
all like
years old.
our age and younger and in school. And then we played at Poorhouse. It was like there's a clash of generation here. I don't vibe with your vibes. You don't vibe with my vibes. That was a weird show.
Yeah.
Right.
So
My dad was there. He was crossing his arms.
that is true.
Yeah.
So the last show was when we played Mediocre at Best, the band
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Played.
the last show I saw, I think.
that we were at. So we saw our own show.
Yeah. So
in
pretentious.
a sense, yeah.
So
Well, we did.
Well,
I played another show.
oh
between the-
wow,
Illumination
okay.
Project.
Oh, I see.
Which
wow. Chris.
so that kind of counts, but there wasn't any other bands there that I watched play.
So Chris is in
Really?
2 bands. He is the Traitor Among Us.
Yeah.
When were you
He's
gonna tell
in.
us, Chris?
Yeah. When have you been keeping this a secret? So he's in Illumination Project as well as Mediocre at Best. Are you still in Illumination Project? Have y'all and
I mean,
TJ
yeah,
had
yeah.
that conversation?
No, we just refused to have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am still
Y'all
in
didn't break up
Illumination
yet?
Project, and I mean,
That's good.
nothing's changed. We still don't have any gigs to speak of. So,
Do you have any gigs
cold.
to not speak of?
yeah,
A secret gig.
there's one that may or may not happen. So we don't speak of it.
So in light of that, I mean, it's been a year and change since we've either played or seen a live show.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, or in your research and data collection, is the future of live music?
Yeah.
Or what do you want it to look like? I mean, those are kind of separate but equal questions.
I feel like we can kind of speak to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Which everyone's kind of doing something different. Right now, it's funny. I keep getting emails about like shows that are being booked in my area for like July 2022. Like, I just got an email that The Weeknd is coming to town.
Oh, wow.
In July of next year. I'm like, I mean,
oh my gosh.
we're just
that?
gonna act like we're definitely gonna be having arena shows in next July. So I mean, there's some hope there, but right now it's like it's so grassroots, like, because obviously the venues are what we're kind of driving. Like, you hit up venues, they book you, you tour those areas. If no one's doing that, then like there's plenty of places outside to play, but like no one's doing that.
Yeah.
I know that like there's some dive bars in like some more like rural areas that are just doing shows like normal.
Yeah.
And I guess those are going fine, I guess. But I don't know. One thing that I've seen that's kind of cool, and I haven't actually gone to one because it's expensive, which is kind of the problem here. At Motorco in Durham, they're renting out pods in their parking lot. They'll do a show out in the parking lot with like, they've built a stage and stuff, or they'll do movie night, whatever. And you rent like a big like 10 by 10 square where you can have like up to 6 or 8 people, or like that you can bring with you. But like, it's expensive because
how much is a pod?
Obviously they need you to pay. I don't remember, but it was like there's a fee for renting the space, and then you pay actual individual tickets. So it's like you buy your space for what, I don't know, $50 or whatever, but then each person still has to pay their 15 or their 20 at the time. So it was like, that was weird, but I don't know even if they're still doing that now, because like it's winter.
Yeah.
But that was kind of a cool idea. Like, you can still get your friends or your family or whoever and go to a show and hang out and like be somewhat close, but then be sectioned off per group. But like, you can't do that like today because it's raining and really cold. So, but that's like some things I've seen now. They're like, we could leverage that and do more things like that, but the money thing is like, they need to make money. They need to pay a band to come out here and do this.
Anything,
so they have to charge you top dollar.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that's limited capacity, once you're done paying the venue, the staff, and the band with limited capacity, it just either becomes unfeasible to do from a business standpoint from the venue, or it becomes unfeasible like buying a ticket. Like, I'm paying $80 to go see a local band or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So I was reading about a guy in Nashville, which Nashville is a whole story that we could probably do a documentary on. In
like
terms of COVID.
Nashville?
Oh yeah.
What
Nashville has been doing during COVID, because Nashville lives on live music.
Right.
But one guy, he's like, they did that, right? You've got the pods, you've got the spacing, and then you've got the taking temperatures at the door, and they basically just ran out of money. Like, it was just infeasible from a monetary standpoint. And so I'm wondering if you can't do, if paying the venue is kind of like the middleman in some senses.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are really, really like venues, and like their local venue that just went out of business is like a big deal. I was never that way.
Yeah.
But I've never been like in the scene, so to speak, or like going to the same venue every week. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like in the area where you guys live now, and I don't anymore.
Yeah.
In case you missed last week.
Up yon, where
us Yankees in North Carolina.
Yeah, you Yanks up there. There's a relatively small amount of venues.
Yeah.
And the ones that
there's a ton of venues, there's just not any good ones.
Well, right. But like,
and even the big ones.
Yeah, like
But I see what
I
I mean.
mean-
Compared to
Yeah, New
To-
Orleans is
to
like
New Orleans.
music town.
or Nashville or
But-
like
Yeah, so like the ones like you might find one that you would like to go to
Mhm.
normally, but like it's not close to you guys anyways, 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
At least. So it's not like people who live like downtown in a city with venues, yeah, like it just makes sense. Pay $5 or $6 to see whatever band's there that day. But because it thrives on that and they can do that all the time. But Raleigh has trouble doing that because no one lives in the city. And the people that do don't always
Yeah.
care about live music.
Yeah. That's true.
And so I feel like
Raleigh
Raleigh's
is
in
like
the
a
city,
business, like a
Durham's
suit
a little
and they're
town.
not
different.
really into the whole in the like they're not into poorhouse. Like it's greasy.
Right.
You got to go
No,
through
yeah,
a
they
back
don't-
alley. Like if you live in downtown
Yeah.
Raleigh, that's probably not your crowd.
So let me
Unless
run
you're,
this
like,
by
in
you.
college, maybe.
Let me run this by you, boys.
Yeah, run this.
Matt Dryhurst, musician and Berlin-based professor
Did you
at
say
NYU.
Bayou?
What's that?
Did you say Bayou?
Bayou.
Matt Dryhurst.
You said, let me run this by you.
Let me run.
Yeah, the
In this
internet is
Bayou.
really screwing this up. I said this back when you said it.
Oh, your comedic
way
timing, I'm
behind.
sure, was on point.
Man,
It was funny when
the internet is really
the
screwing
way
with
I
my
heard
comedy.
it was hilarious.
Did you say Bayou? Man, Chris is already acclimated. He's just hearing what he wants to hear. So this guy, he's a musician and professor at Clive Davis Institute, big music school in New York City, and his
big
his
Clive.
proposal for the future of live music is that venues have to become like Patreon funded. So essentially, you have members of the venue, and they pay a subscription or a membership fee rather than it being like, oh, you just pay for your ticket. And this does two things. Number one, you have a group of people who are invested in the venue itself. Like if we had a venue down the street that we were a membership or like we were a member of, you would feel invested in it. And the other thing is that it means that rather than selling tickets through Ticketmaster, which sucks, and I don't know, I mean, y'all know about Ticketmaster,
Yeah.
but for the listeners, they
I
basically
know.
do a bunch of shady like practices that just take money from both people who go to concerts and from artists.
Yeah.
So it takes money away from Ticketmaster, which is a good thing, and people have to invest in the venue itself.
Right.
I-
And all that money actually goes, like if you give $20, the venue actually gets that money
Exactly.
and can use it. Whereas if you pay $20 for a ticket on Ticketmaster,
Oh, yeah.
the venue gets $4.
You paying the handling fee and the service fee
Right, right.
because they got to handle that ticket, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
did my job.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that theory as the future of live music?
Wait, are you asking me
Yeah.
or just both of us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
asking
you know,
you.
everybody.
I mean, okay.
No, you
There's-
specifically, Chris.
I mean, that seems the way all like small business or like creative type businesses are going,
Yeah.
because like people are finding out that like the actual product is hard to make money from. And when you do, it's relatively little money. So you have to find people that are invested in the idea for the long haul to actually make consistent income. So it makes sense to me. I don't know how many people are actually going to do it, to be honest.
That's the
I feel like
question.
the value,
So
the thing is, anyone, you can provide value. Like they just have to figure out what people want. And so like if the venue is able to provide like high value, I think people would totally pay $10 a month if they could see like live stream shows once a week. And if it's bands that they want to see.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that
true.
is- I mean, that's, and as long as it's also high quality, that's where like, because if you're doing online stuff, that makes it hard. But if it was in person, that was a little different. I mean, that I would totally do that if I could, like, even if I had to pay like say $30-$40 a month.
Yeah.
But I get to go to a show a week
Yeah.
or whatever.
Here's my theory.
That'd be awesome.
Here's my take. I agree with you. I think I would like a musicians and people who are invested in like the music scene would be all about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it might end up as like a movie pass scenario where it's like they bet on you not coming to 5 shows and just coming to 1 a month. But then when it's free, you go to 5 because you can. And so then they end up net losing a ton of money. It's like in an ideal world, it would be awesome. But in reality,
what they can do in reality is do the subscription thing and have regular tickets.
And then you're like, what? I gotta pay and then pay again?
No. For people who don't want to do the
like there's members,
you buy the ticket.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You just save money per ticket if you buy the subscription.
I think
like
that makes
everyone
sense.
else does.
I've got 2 thoughts here.
Yeah, give us your thoughts.
Off the bat, I do not like live streamed musical performances.
No, yeah, they're not.
Like,
it's rough.
Almost ever, to a point where like, not to a point where I'd pay for it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think last year a lot of people did a lot of really cool things to make the best live stream concert possible, but it was still not worth $25 because the production value is only as good. Like, it hits here, whereas the ability to pre-record and throw it up on YouTube is then like anywhere way higher. Like, it can only be as good as a decent YouTube video.
Yeah.
And there's nothing different to me about watching like a live performance online than there is with just watching the YouTube video later. And so that doesn't make me want to pay anybody anything. Like, I paid for my internet already.
As a viewer, you don't get anything out of it being live, really. Like,
so that's my first thought. Unless it's like chat. Well, what people will do is they'll do a live performance and then then turn it off. Like, they won't re-upload it. So it's like, if you want to see this exclusive set, you have to buy a ticket to this live stream and then it's going away. Yeah. It's like, I mean, that's just not sustainable.
And that's kind of
people don't like that.
That's false scarcity.
Yeah.
It's like, it's only exclusive because you're taking it down.
Yeah. But like, so my second thought is that it seems like with all this, so live music for the last decades has been a commercial commodity.
Yeah.
So, we've constructed arenas for bands to play in, and like, we've done all this stuff, and it's like, and Ticketmaster exists. But now that structure is like dead, at least for now. Yeah. Like, live music has to only be like a small business, grassroots type of business plan, because there's nobody who can invest thousands of dollars into a live venue or like into a band who's going to tour the world. It's like, at this point, bands have to get their own fans and put on their own shows, or like do so in a small, even like after, there's no lockdown anymore. I feel like the damage might be kind of done, and it's going to have to be local independent bands working with local independent venues and putting on their own shows. And maybe it's more of like a Patreon type of setup for a lot of people, like kind of what we're talking, like memberships and stuff. Like, maybe it's more like it's a Patreon, or like it's like people subscribe on Twitch for $5 because it's nothing. But if you get 1,000 people subscribing for $5, like, you're making decent money to put out what could essentially be called free content otherwise. So I feel like it's more of like a get supporters, not so much get a tour opening for the weekend or something anymore.
Well, that's a good outlook, because ultimately that means that like artists are just directly getting money.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a great idea to me as an artist.
And there's no hard ceiling between like success and commercial success. Yeah. It's just varying degrees of your own success based on your following that you've built.
Because basically, it kind of seems like if you work within the traditional system, your only way to make a living is to have commercial success. But now, if you do the subscription thing or Patreon or just find your own following, you can make a living by just having a relatively small group of people that are like buying into what you're doing.
I mean,
now that being said,
that's kind of our strategy. So I hope that that's the future.
Yeah. Well, and so the thing
people
about
are doing it. Tons of people are doing it.
That's true.
Well, it sucks because the most money that we made at any gig was like because somebody specifically hired us to play that gig. Like it wasn't a show where we bring our people. It was like it's a party or like it's some like festival or an event, and we're being asked to be featured basically. But then anything that we did that was like, hey guys, Poorhouse Monday, we're we're marketing and we're letting you guys know and we're pushing this, and then my dad comes. Like it's like that's the model we have to look forward to now.
Exactly.
Which I mean, maybe that in 2018 didn't work, but now moving forward in 2021 and beyond, that is going to be what has to work because there's not really anything else.
Right. Well, something about like not a great thing, but a good thing about venues not being open is it forces you to build a following online, which is one cheaper and easier.
Yeah, that's true.
So
because you don't have to open for a big band who's on a
you don't have
tour.
to like you don't have to book a show at whatever venue you think people will maybe like come to just find you. You can just do it all online, and you don't have to like bank on like your, I don't know, 300 fans total. Like maybe 20 of them come into the local show.
Yeah.
Like, because like that's not always, it's not like that people don't want to see you. It's just like, they just worked all day and they don't want to come out that night, or they don't have the money, or whatever it may be.
And if you're not a band that like already has a bunch of clout, you're not getting the Saturday night where everybody wants to go, or like the Friday night. You're getting the Tuesday, which is even harder to get people out. So it's like it's geared against you to begin with, playing at a venue.
Effect. Yeah.
So
but conveniently, the people we're trying to get to live on the internet now. So it's like we're kind of at an ideal point here where we need to leverage the internet, but it's the best time to be doing that.
So it's interesting that you say that because 100 Gex just a few months ago did a Minecraft show with tens of thousands of people.
Wow.
Oh, really?
So they did a show in Minecraft. And you log on, you get a code, you get like the password to log on to the Minecraft server. And and there's
Travis Scott did that.
I know.
Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but Travis Scott is different.
I mean, I know
it's different.
It's different.
Travis Scott got a deal with Fortnite.
Yeah.
Right. But
this was like they just put this on.
Yeah, like you're saying, it's grassroots in the sense of like there's no talent buyer, there's no promoter. Right. It's just the band.
Epic Games didn't pay you.
Exactly. And apparently, number one, because it was Minecraft, everybody loved it. I mean, it's just hilarious as a concept.
Who doesn't love some Minecraft?
But they got Minecraft artists to build the stage. So they paid these people who are like, I am as a job a Minecraft artist.
Man.
And apparently it was super cool. And like the people who were on it loved it. And there's actually like a company that now, and by a company, I mean like 3 dudes who just do this, who put on these Minecraft shows. And after this 100 Gex show, they had huge names reaching out and being like, yo, it's our turn. So is the future of live music Minecraft?
Minecraft? Well, I feel like it's any modified version of that. So like for now, we're doing it in Minecraft, but the next year we're doing that same thing, but like outside or like somewhere else where we're still hiring like local artists to build a set for us. And then like, so it's same concept, just like in person,
just in real life.
Yeah, in real life. But you know what? This might be the resurgence of house shows.
That's true.
And basement shows, except like with really cool houses and really cool basements.
Well,
Because
like
basement shows are so bad. What was that place?
What was
We
the
were supposed to
basement
play a
show?
basement show?
yeah,
Snacks House.
Snacks House.
We were supposed to play
Yeah.
a
Oh,
basement
yeah,
show, and we were like, guys,
Snacks House.
I don't care how many people are there. I'm not going.
We're not doing it.
This is weird. Like, we
Yeah.
could die here.
Yeah. So,
So we have some chat going on
yep.
saying that Lil Nas X did a show in Roblox.
Oh, for real?
Oh,
you know, that sounds
really?
about right.
Did he play with Billy Ray?
I don't know.
Billy Ray better have been there.
Yeah. Update on the RPAN chat. People say, I don't want any more memberships. One.
Okay.
People say,
That's fair.
I mean, we're getting a ton of the "you look exactly the same" comment, which is
You know,
par for the
that
course.
is-
I mean, as
Yeah.
as we do.
They also said, Chris,
As we
you
do.
look like Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
they said
I'll
top
take
guy looks like Brad Pitt.
not bad.
He's one of the best looking guys.
I
in
know.
the industry.
I mean, that's a compliment for sure. And then
That is a large compliment.
it's a hefty, thick boy compliment. And
That is
then
hefty.
dude in the middle, does it hurt to be that kind of beautiful?
That's you, right?
No, you're dude in the middle. Like I said, Chris on
Am
top.
I in the middle?
You're in the middle.
Oh shoot! Hey, thank you.
Oh man,
Yeah. Does it hurt?
does it hurt?
I win.
Oh, man.
It does hurt. I'm in agonizing pain every day.
Yes.
Well, boys, we're
Sorry.
we're coming to a close. We got about 5 or
it's
so
up,
minutes
yeah.
left.
So
Okay.
we kind of all agree you have to put out free content and
Yeah.
get a bunch of followers to support you and then pay you to make free content in order to survive as a musician
Yeah,
moving forward,
which
because
Yeah.
the man is dying.
The man
and
is dead.
industry is upside down, and you will never succeed as a musician.
so it's interesting
kinda
that that's the conclusion that we came to, because I was doing some research on this leading up to the podcast, and every article was like, all of the independent stuff is going to be dead, and the only thing that's going to be left is Ticketmaster, Live Nation, and the
that's what I
companies
was
and
gonna
venues that are
say.
big enough.
I mean,
It's like it's
you
not as
tell me
much-
how Ticketmaster is doing right now.
I don't know.
mean, here-
I don't really
it's
know.
not
honestly.
as much the man as it is the opposite. Like we're like the man
woman?
that we're talking about is just venues and venues in general.
The eunuch.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I
So-
immediately take that to bat because, like, for one, like Twitch streamers have absolutely surged
Oh yeah.
in the last year.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Twitch is the most like people pay you for stuff that you can see without paying any money. Like that's exactly what we're talking about here. And that like people grew like crazy in the last year. And like Ticketmaster, when's the last time you bought a ticket for anything?
I mean, it's been. I mean, I bought like some Deepak stuff a long time ago, like before everything, but that was it.
Right. Exactly.
So here's the thing.
Last decade.
Like all of those companies, like the big venues and stuff like that, they have the money to make it through this. Normally, not all of them, but a lot of them do. But we're already seeing like Emerge is closing.
Yeah.
Are they
There's
really?
another one in Raleigh that's
Yeah.
closing too. I mean, we're already seeing these places that are independent venues that were on our side as artists, that were like the places that we could actually get gigs.
Yeah.
They're closing. And so, I mean, in all reality, like it's gonna be hard for like small bands, independent bands to get gigs because of that.
Yeah.
But it's the type of thing that I don't think can just die, because so many people
Yeah.
love it and want it to happen, that there's going to be somebody else to come, even if all the venues close, and that would be unfortunate.
No, this is the year that music just dies. And we just say, that music thing, I don't know about that.
Because people can't, people won't survive on just online music. People don't want that.
Yeah, there
But
is.
It's not the
They
same.
can, because so many do already.
Yeah.
And
But
it
that-
becomes a networking game
Right,
no,
but
no,
then
it's like
then it
interesting.
stops being what it is at that point. It's a whole new thing, and I think there's so many people. I think the majority, maybe not the majority, but a lot of people prefer it to be live. I mean, I'd be willing to say the majority, and they know that there's some experience that you just can't get online, and so somebody's going to find a way around, or like people with money are going to invest and just open another independent venue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I
But see,
don't
that's
think
what
it's
I'm
going to
saying, is
die. I
you've-
think just maybe what we have
Yeah.
now will slow down.
I guess I'm saying online is the platform by which you build your own following, and then you bring them to your shows that you are self-producing.
Right. But if
Not
all
so
the
much that
independent
it's all
close-
online live content, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
I mean,
you
but
make your own venue and you hire Minecraft artists to build a stage for you in the park or in your mom's basement, et cetera, et cetera. We're just
Yeah.
kind of round twoing on house shows, but yeah.
Right. But sticking
these
the
are
man
all-
is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
stick the
that's-
man is the that's the thesis today.
Take a stick.
Yeah,
Thank you
stick
for
the man.
watching.
Stick 'em. So
Thanks
we
for
got a
donating.
minute or two left on the podcast portion. Someone has
right.
awarded us a bunch of airtime on Reddit,
Oh,
so
thank you.
we'll keep going on Reddit and kind of
Oh,
take some
yeah,
fan
they have.
questions.
Woo!
But
Wonderful.
final question: drive-in shows, yay or nay?
I haven't been to one.
Man,
And as
I
much as
haven't
I
gone
want to
to one.
say nay because it's weird, I'm willing to go. I can't really say until I go to one.
I mean, if it wasn't like a Wednesday night, Mark Rebier came to Charlotte and did a drive-in or Greensboro or
Oh
something.
shoot!
And I wanted to go, but it was like, dude, it's a Wednesday. That's like a 2 at least hour drive.
Ugh.
I got work at 7 a.m. the
Yeah,
next day.
that would suck.
But like watching the highlights and stuff afterwards, it looked like a party. Like it looked so much fun. And I was like, I would pay, like, I think they were still, $20, $25 per car though, not per person, which, pile everybody into the van and go, and you're saving money. But that looked like a party. And then you can honk the horn, and people were honking, instead of clapping.
Oh yeah,
So it was
that's the
noisy
move.
and wild, and they were like serving food, but it was, I would go to it. It looked like a lot of fun.
Mm.
But Mark is also an entertainer. I can't
Mark
promise
is-
that anybody who does a drive-in
Yeah.
would be fun, because he had like Erykah Badu show up.
Oh
Like
shoot!
Oh
he
shoot!
put on like a crazy whole show. Like not everybody's
Yeah.
gonna do that. He had
No.
green screen stuff going on.
And also,
Yeah,
you know
so-
what Mark did? He built his following online.
That's
he did.
true.
And then when he
A
toured
huge
the
following.
country for drive-ins, like he killed it.
He sold out the
Same
fields.
thing. Yeah, he sold out the fields.
so it
Same
sounds
thing.
like the
So be
conclusion.
Mark.
The future of live music is building a fan base on the internet, but not necessarily performing on live streams exclusively.
Not
Yeah,
exclusively, yeah.
I agree with that. I think video is going to be a huge part of live music in the future, and like live streams are probably going to stick around, but I don't think they'll replace like actually going, once you can do it safely again, getting out there in the crowd, elbowing through people. There's something about the communal aspect that you just don't get on a live stream.
Yeah.
Well, boys,
Right.
this is the conclusion of our pod. We are mediocre at best. You can hear us
Thanks
on
for joining.
Spotify. Thank you for joining. You can follow us on Reddit. You can follow us on Instagram, and you can join our
Yep.
Discord server.
Yes, we have a
Um,
Discord
shout-
server.
How do you
Thanks
find the
thanks for
Discord
being
server?
Is the links on Instagram in the bio?
It's linked on our Instagram, and we can also, wherever we can.
Yeah, link it
we can
on
link
Reddit,
Yeah, we'll pop some links in the
We don't have.
in the
et cetera,
chat.
et cetera.
If we pay $15, we can have a custom Discord URL, but someone's gonna have to shell out $15. So.
Well,
$15. See, now that we talked about how
Grassroots. Someone donate us $15 a month so that we can boost our server to get a custom Discord URL.
okay.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the support.
all right. So we will say goodbye to the audio portion of the podcast, but Reddit, we're going to stick around for y'all. So
Goodbye.